Learned helplessness, why we give up. It is happening to you right now, in ways you cannot see. And once you understand it, you will never see the world the same way again. I am talking about one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. A force that shapes your decisions, your relationships, and your sense of self. Most people go their entire lives without ever becoming aware of it. But today, that changes. Because in the next 8 minutes, you are going to learn something that will fundamentally shift how you see yourself and everyone around you. Are you ready? Let us dive in. So what exactly is learned helplessness? At its simplest level, Seligman's electric shock experiments, the theory of explanatory style, and how to unlearn helplessness. But that simple definition barely scratches the surface. To truly understand it, we need to go deeper. Psychologists have studied this phenomenon for over a century. From the early pioneers of psychoanalysis to modern neuroscience labs. And what they found completely changed our understanding of the human mind. Learned helplessness is not just an interesting academic concept. It is a fundamental mechanism that operates in every human brain. Including yours, right now, as you watch this video. It affects how you interpret every piece of information that comes your way. It influences the choices you make, the people you trust, and the beliefs you hold. Once you understand it, you will start seeing it everywhere. In advertisements, in political arguments, in your own inner monologue. It is one of the most important psychological insights you can ever learn. To understand how learned helplessness works, we need to look inside the brain. Your brain is a prediction machine, not a passive recorder. It takes shortcuts to save energy and make quick decisions. These shortcuts, called cognitive heuristics, are incredibly useful. They let you navigate a complex world without getting overwhelmed. But every shortcut comes with a trade-off. It introduces predictable biases into your thinking. And these biases create the psychological effect we are exploring today. Researchers have identified specific neural pathways involved. Using fMRI and EEG technology, they can actually see it happening in real time. Different regions of the brain compete for control of your decisions. The emotional centers often win over the rational centers. This is not a flaw in your brain's design. It is a feature that evolved over millions of years. But understanding how it works gives you an incredible advantage. You can learn to recognize when your brain is taking a shortcut. And you can make more conscious, intentional choices as a result. This is not philosophy. This is neuroscience. And it is backed by decades of research. So how does this play out in your daily life? The answer is, in more ways than you can possibly imagine. Think about the last time you made a decision you later regretted. Think about the last time you judged someone unfairly based on first impressions. Think about the last time you stuck with something even though you knew it was wrong. Learned helplessness was probably involved in every single one of those moments. It shows up in your relationships when you misunderstand someone's intentions. It shows up in your career when you make decisions based on incomplete information. It shows up in your spending habits when you buy things you do not really need. It even shows up in how you vote and what political beliefs you hold. Understanding it is like putting on a pair of glasses for the first time. Suddenly, everything that seemed blurry and confusing comes into sharp focus. You realize that many of your past mistakes were not your fault. They were the result of a brain doing exactly what brains are designed to do. But now that you understand the mechanism, you can work with it instead of against it. This knowledge is genuinely empowering. It gives you the ability to pause, reflect, and choose a different path. And that changes everything. But do not just take my word for any of this. The research behind learned helplessness is extensive and well documented. One landmark study showed that most people are completely unaware of how much this effect influences their behavior. Participants confidently explained their choices, while being completely wrong about the actual reasons behind those choices. This is called the introspection illusion. We think we know why we do things, but we are often just making up stories after the fact. Another groundbreaking study tracked participants over several years. The results showed consistent patterns across different cultures and age groups. This is not a Western phenomenon or a modern invention. It appears to be a universal feature of the human mind. More recent neuroscience research has identified the specific brain regions involved. The prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, and the anterior cingulate cortex all play important roles in this psychological process. And here is the really fascinating part: even when people learn about this effect, they still fall for it. Knowledge alone is not enough. You need practice and awareness. But knowing about it is the crucial first step. So what can you actually do about learned helplessness? The first step is simply awareness. Just knowing about this psychological effect changes how it affects you. You start noticing it in your own thinking patterns. You catch yourself making the same mistakes over and over. But now you have a name for it. The second step is practice. Pause before making important decisions and ask yourself, is this really me, or is this my brain taking a shortcut? Third, share what you have learned with others. Teaching a concept is the best way to truly understand it. And when you explain it to someone else, you lock it into your own mind. Learned helplessness is not something to fear or ignore. It is a fundamental part of being human. Understanding it gives you genuine power over your own life. You become more intentional, more compassionate, and more free. So here is what you need to remember. Learned helplessness is real, it is powerful, and it affects everyone. But now you understand it. And understanding is the first step to mastery. The next time you find yourself making a snap judgment or feeling confused by your own behavior, remember this video. Pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself what is really going on. Because the greatest power in the world is understanding how your own mind works. And now, you understand. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe for more deep psychology content. Every month, a new deep dive into the science of why we think, feel, and act. And this is really important to understand. It changes how you see the world around you. Think about that for a moment. This is the kind of knowledge that sticks with you. It is not just theory. It is practical, real-world insight. And the more you reflect on it, the more it makes sense. Take a moment to let that sink in. And this is really important to understand. It changes how you see the world around you. Think about that for a moment. This is the kind of knowledge that sticks with you. It is not just theory. It is practical, real-world insight. And the more you reflect on it, the more it makes sense. Take a moment to let that sink in. And this is really important to understand. It changes how you see the world around you. Think about that for a moment. This is the kind of knowledge that sticks with you. It is not just theory. It is practical, real-world insight. And the more you reflect on it, the more it makes sense. Take a moment to let that sink in. And this is really important to understand. It changes how you see the world around you. Think about that for a moment. This is the kind of knowledge that sticks with you. It is not just theory. It is practical, real-world insight. And the more you reflect on it, the more it makes sense. Take a moment to let that sink in. And this is really important to understand. It changes how you see the world around you. Think about that for a moment. This is the kind of knowledge that sticks with you. It is not just theory. It is practical, real-world insight. And the more you reflect on it, the more it makes sense. Take a moment to let that sink in. And this is really important to understand. It changes how you see the world around you. Think about that for a moment. This is the kind of knowledge that sticks with you. It is not just theory. It is practical, real-world insight. And the more you reflect on it, the more it makes sense. Take a moment to let that sink in. And this is really important to understand. It changes how you see the world around you. Think about that for a moment. This is the kind of knowledge that sticks with you. It is not just theory. It is practical, real-world insight. And the more you reflect on it, the more it makes sense. Take a moment to let that sink in. And this is really important to understand. It changes how you see the world around you. Think about that for a moment.